All right, you guys. As-Salamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to our news special. So we're just gonna get started right off the bat. First things first, we have that Imran Khan sadly has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. They're talking about a possible lesser sentence, but let's be honest, guys, the political motivations that are behind this are pretty obvious as to why they want him in prison. So there's really no need for me to even go in any more detail than that. I think we all know that these charges are all BS that they have against him, and they just don't want him to be in charge of the country. And there's all kinds of things like blackouts going on, possibly, and stuff like that that they want so they can kind of rig their elections. It's very disgusting, guys. It's very sad that this would happen. I mean, but it is what it is. I guess at this point, may Allah, give the people of Pakistan justice. I mean, but nonetheless, let's move on to the next topic. And as you can see from the title of the video, this is kind of the main topic of the video, so let's get straight into it. Vince McMahon is in some deep shit, both literally and figuratively, after text messages were exposed between him and his assistant, where he was speaking in some of the most horrific, predatory talks from a boss that I think I've ever seen. Some of the most grotesque stuff I think I have ever read. I don't even want to post it on this video because of how disgusting it is. You can Google it if you want, but be warned, it is absolutely revolting. I'm telling you. Mentioning things like several men having relations with her at the same time, and just a total abuse of power, and just some of the most disgusting things you will ever possibly read. I mean, there's dirty talk, and there's just, I mean, this is just absolute filth. Like, I can't describe it in any other way. The fact that, I've watched like his show and stuff like that, the WWE and all that, which obviously doesn't include any of that stuff. But I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting to me. There were also messages that also exposed indirectly WWE wrestler and former UFC champion Brock Lesnar basically being told that if he signed for WWE that he could basically kind of like use her for whatever pleasures he wanted to, from my understanding. I mean, just absolutely disgusting stuff. And now Brock Lesnar is apparently kind of being blacklisted by both WWE and the UFC. So we'll see kind of like what happens with that, if he's ever going to be able to perform again. It's just absolutely like disgusting, man. Like, this hole goes pretty deep because there's other executives like John Laurinaitis and like other people as well that are apparently kind of involved in all this. So I don't even know what to say, guys. It's just like, I mean, the timing of this couldn't be any better. Like, after WWE just negotiated a $5 billion deal with Netflix through TKO, and none of the McMahon family wants anything to do with it. Even Stephanie and Shane O'Mac, here comes the money, right? The Rock and Triple H are basically carrying the WWE right now. They're the faces of WWE executives. And hopefully this is going to be a fresh start for the WWE, given how toxic the McMahon family has, tarnished its name because of Vince. But, man, it's going to be really tough to kind of get away from this kind of negative press, man. It's like, it's just really not looking good, guys. I mean, with Vince stepping down of his role at the company, it's pretty obvious there's an obvious level of guilt within this. However, I did hear on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, which I thought was an interesting point, which I do kind of agree with, that the terminology that they're using in the press isn't quite correct. It shouldn't really be called human trafficking, because that's not quite what this is. This is more so exploitation and sexual abuse of an employee, because she was paid salary, so it's not like she was necessarily like kidnapped or anything like that, or held against her will per se. But he did definitely abuse his power, and like his authority with, threatening like the team of lawyers and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying that there wasn't any abuse going on. It's just like the technical term where I'm kind of being a little bit, I guess, nitpicky at, because so yeah, like I said, she was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary, but it's like one of those roles that they don't actually like do anything like for the company per se, and he just kind of used her for his own and favors. And I mean, he did kind of pimp her out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, he basically did pimp her out. But calling it human trafficking, there's just certain things that kind of go with that doesn't quite fit this criteria. But like I said, nonetheless, I mean, Vince definitely deserves to be in jail for probably the remainder of his life. I mean, the nature of what went on is absolutely horrific. They coerced her into doing such horrific things. I mean, things like even him literally defecating on her while another trainer was still like in the process of having. I mean, oh my god. I mean, this stuff is just absolutely disgusting. Literally insane, right? I mean, that I'm even having to talk about this. I mean, I didn't want to go into any details, but like, I mean, just so you guys can understand the grotesque nature of this stuff and what somebody, I mean, this guy's a billionaire. Like, why are you doing these things? I mean, it just goes to show you that, like, these people, when they get to such a level of money and dunya and all this sort of stuff, they just resort to the most disgusting things imaginable just to get them excited. I mean, it is absolutely mind-boggling to me that anybody would do something of this nature. And I mean, for any of you, WWE fans out there who, loved this show when we were kids, you know what I mean? We need to seriously ask ourselves, what the hell are we supporting when we watch this stuff? I mean, obviously a lot of us from when we were kids don't even watch it anymore. I mean, it's just, it's crazy to me, honestly, that, like, he was doing this kind of stuff. And there's interviews going back all the way to, like, the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, of accusations of him abusing other employees as well. So who knows who's else is gonna come forward with this kind of stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, I used to love watching WWE as a kid with all the craziness and Vince abusing his authority on the show, and seeing this story was still a surprise. Like, that stuff, like, honestly, I didn't think it could get much worse than what was on TV. What was on TV was pretty bad. I will be that. I thought it was mostly an act, but apparently that was the tamed stuff compared to what went on behind the scenes. I mean, this stuff is just absolutely disgusting. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, guys, because it's just so revolting. So let's move on to the next topic. So up next in news, we have that a Muslim girl was assaulted at her school, and it didn't take long before the guy who attacked her was found on Instagram, and people swarmed this guy's page. And just, I mean, this guy, I mean, I don't understand why he did it exactly. You can see the girl kind of like another girl pushing him into the Muslim girl, and then he just like shoves her to the ground, throws her on the ground and stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, what the hell is going on here? But this occurred in Queen Bee Middle School, Glendale Heights, Illinois. That is where it happened. So what is going to happen with that, I don't know. But a lot of people are like threatening this kid and stuff like that. I'm not for that. But obviously justice does need to be served, but in the legal fashion. So, parents need to be involved with this, the families, and taking it through the correct procedures, not these vigilantes looking for where he lived. People were posting like the people were asking for his home address and things like that. Like, guys, there's no need for that, like, honestly. So let's just move on to the next subject. So in economic news, we have that Amazon is coming out with Rufus. No, not the naked mole rat from Kim Possible. Shout out Kim Possible, you know what I'm saying? But this is an expert shopping assistant trained on Amazon's product catalog and information across from the internet to answer like customer questions and like shopping stuff, products and comparisons, and it gives you like recommendations and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a pretty cool thing, launching in small subsets with customers all across the US, and it's like going to progressively be rolling out to everybody for kind of beta testing. So that's a pretty cool thing, honestly, that Amazon has their own AI kind of thing that'll help you with shopping. Let's see how effective it is. I mean, they're already collecting all of our information anyways, to be honest, and giving recommendations of things that we've even like been thinking about. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but like, I don't even talk about it or search about it, and somehow the product recommendation will come up right then and there, and I'm like, bro, these guys are reading my thoughts somehow. I don't know what's going on here, but nonetheless, some weird stuff we got with this AI thing. Nonetheless, let's move on. So we also have that Pal World has gone absolutely viral and has broken records of sales like never before. and Microsoft has already pledged to helping them do an upscaling of the game. This game, guys, it actually looks pretty fun. I think I'm probably going to be doing some content with it soon, inshallah. So let me know if you guys want to see that down below in the comments. But yeah, looking forward to playing that. It looks pretty fun. It's like a mock version of Pokemon if you guys haven't seen that already. But like an open world kind of thing, you know what I mean? You can kind of create your own world type of thing. So it looks pretty fun, honestly, guys. So I'm looking forward to playing it, inshallah. But yeah. So let's just move on to the next topic. So unfortunately, we have a few celebrity deaths. One of them being that Rick's son from Pawn Stars has passed away, Adam. Rick started an education fund for his grandson, Adam's son. So yeah, you know, hopefully things will, you know, ease for that family. You know, it's very sad news that he passed away. Such a young age too. I mean, it's very, very sad, guys. But yeah, I mean, I used to watch Pawn Stars a lot, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Pawn Stars out there, you know, finessing people, definitely, for sure, for like items that you would think would be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And like, yeah, best I can do is like $50. And you're like, bro, what? Like, they're worse than GameStop, guys. But anyways, yeah, very sad though to see, you know, Adam pass away. So may Allah give ease to the family. I mean, but yeah. And up next, in more horrifying and grotesque news, a man in Pennsylvania beheaded his father and showed the aftermath live online, guys. I mean, what is going on? Like, he was tracked through his cell phone, this freaking weon. If you're gonna do something like this, okay, if you're stupid enough to do something like this where you're gonna go and behead your own father, at least be smart enough to know to throw your phone out and switch to a burner. Like, have you not seen any movies before, bro? They can track you through your freaking phone. But anyways, nonetheless, you know, I don't know what the father may have done. Maybe he abused him or something like that. But nonetheless, this is just absolutely barbaric, and may Allah provide justice in this life and the next to the father. I mean, and the rest of the family. I mean, I can only imagine what the family must be going through to see, like, you know, if he has cousins or siblings. I don't know what his family situation was like, but I mean, that's just, I mean, I can't even imagine that, honestly, guys. Like, can you imagine getting news that, like, your cousin or your brother or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, being like, oh, yeah, he beheaded his dad. Oh, and by the way, he filmed it online, too, and posted it for everybody to see. Like, what? Like, what the hell is going on with today's generation, guys? I mean, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, clearly he must have been sick in the head, but, I mean, to go to these lengths, I don't believe it, guys. It's just absolutely, absolutely insane. And in other sad news, we have that Carl Weathers from Rocky Balboa has passed away at 76 years old. Now, there really is no tomorrow for him, sadly. I don't know if you guys remember that clip. You know, it's like kind of like a half joke, half not joke. It's not really a joke necessarily. Obviously, it's very sad to see him pass away. He was a great, very talented athlete. Well, I guess athlete as well in a way, but actor as well. You know, dude, that, I'm not gonna lie, that clip, okay, of him, you know, where Rocky's like, he's like, come on, man, tomorrow, I can't do this anymore. Where he's training and everything's like, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And he's like, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun. You know what I'm saying? That whole, you know, motivational thing, man. Yeah, man, Apollo Creed, man. It's just very sad to see him go, man. 76 years old in my book isn't really that old. So it's very sad. I would consider that fairly young. But nonetheless, you know, very sad news. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. To Allah we come from, and to Him we shall return. So, you know, it's very sad news nonetheless. And in other sports news, we have that Arturo Vidal is making his boyhood club return in Colo Colo. That is one of the most historic Chilean football clubs besides, you know, FC Palestino, what you know about that. But, yeah, so he's making a return to Colo Colo in style, riding on a horse, looking absolutely badass. Absolutely love it, guys. Love to see Arturo Vidal again. Hopefully, I can get his autograph. I have a jersey of his, man. I want to get his autograph one day. If you guys, any of you guys know Arturo Vidal out there, tell him his hermano chileno is looking for him, man. I want his autograph on my jersey. Okay. All right. So we also have that Laporte scored an absolute screamer against Inter Miami in the 6-0 thrashing, just showing how much more competitive the Saudi League is in comparison to the MLS. I'm sorry, guys. All you guys that were bragging at first, oh my gosh, he's doing so amazing in the MLS. Bro, no. Okay, there's just no comparison. Like, anyways, we also have that Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-1 at the Emirates with an absolutely shocking performance by Alisson and Van Dijk, making Trossard look like a prime Messi with that insane run and finishing it off with a beautiful nutmeg. Martinelli with an opportunistic goal of a lifetime after Van Dijk and Alisson couldn't decide what to have for dinner because both of them completely whiffed it and missed the ball, and Martinelli with a wide open goal just easily tapped it in. Happy days, right? So yeah, now Arsenal kind of closing in on the gap, only a few points away from being at the top. Hopefully Arsenal can come back and be back at the top of the table, but we will see what happens. And in other sports news, we also have that The Undertaker, yes, The Undertaker, all right, will be presenting the trophy for the Riyadh season trophy winners between Al Nassr and Al Hilal. So that is pretty crazy. I never thought I would ever see The Undertaker in costume in the middle of a soccer stadium. I mean, my two worlds are just kind of colliding here. The two things that I used to love most as a kid, soccer and WWE, just kind of meshing together. Very interesting to me nonetheless. As usual, the conflict in Gaza continues as more and more human rights abuses going on between the IDF and the Palestinian civilians. It's getting very repetitive at this point, guys. But nonetheless, we still need to bring awareness. We still need to try to, do our part and at least help the civilians that are there that are suffering. We pray that Allah instills peace into the region and people are able to get, food and water and just stop this war. Please be generous and donate your meals to pennyappeal.com or .org, I mean. And you can have an immense opportunity for Sadaqah Jariyah. Guys, I'm telling you, I can't reiterate this enough. Donate the meals, guys. It helps out so much. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe down below. As-Salamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.